Hello folks, happy midweek and thanks for joining us today. Today we will be battling Dream Theater versus Typo Negative. Dream Theater is a layered and dynamic band. Images of words, its influence, in my opinion, derives from new wave and like jazz, like Pat Metheny, and of course traditional metal, and I totally dig it. What's really cool about James LaBrie's vocals is because Dream Theater is such a, like I said, a powerful, dynamic, layered band, his vocals meets up very well with that dynamic because it's kind of, he has a very powerful vocals. Like it's very strong when he's singing. And then at the same time, it's not only strong, but it gives off the dream fantasy kind of thing they're going for. And it pairs up well with John Petrucci's guitar, because his guitar is very fast-paced, very metal, but at the same time, it features a very dreamlike existence. There are so many great songs on this album that play with so many different instruments, and they know how to all sound different, but they still stay to the sound of the band. The saxophone in Another Day added to the sound of the band because, like I said, their sound is very dreamlike, very dreamy, and very fantasy. Like I don't know. I keep saying fantasy, but very like make believe kind of thing. That's kind of what I'm saying. The saxophone gives off a kind of hypnotic thing, and it happens a lot in Pat Metheny's music, which is why it reminds me of it, because it also features a very hypnotic thing. And John Myung's bass is really hot ass, and it really completes the sound from James LaBrie's vocals to John Petrucci's guitar, and it just really adds on to the layers and layers of this band. There are a lot of good songs on this album, and this band has a lot of great layers, but at the same time, although there's a lot of different sounds, it's all cohesive, and their songs are complicated, but you understand them and you get where they're coming from. You understand what it's about, and I really like that. Everybody knows Typo Negative for their goth anthem, Black, 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 Black number one. But do they really know Typo Negative? Black number one, what it's really about? I'll answer what it's really about, because a lot of people I don't think a lot of people really get the gravity of the situation here. I think they think they know what the song's about, but don't actually know what Peter Steele is going with when he's preaching to you, you know? There are some people, not gonna call any names today, but I think they know who they are, and they think that Black number one is basically talking up goth girls, but really it's calling them out for their bitchy attitude and their pale fucking skin. So there's a cool established doom metal sound like Black Sabbath and Dio, and the theme of the album meets very quasi-religious themes throughout, mixed with dark shit, you know? Peter Steele has a very haunting voice that is very reminiscent of Jim Morrison. It's very smooth, honeyed, and delicious. Very manly, yes. And I think it's really cool how he's playing, not only is he singing, but he's also playing the bass, which is really rare and very cool. So Kenny Hickey's backing vocals and his guitar playing, it complements Steele's voice and his bass very well, because that bass is very dark, very doomy, and the guitar is very heavy, very shreddy. And then his backing vocal, like he does the gang vocals with the song, and I love it because it's like I said, Peter Steele's voice is very haunting, and the gang vocals adds on to the haunting themes and the dark and monastery whole shebang of the album. Can't Lose You is a really great way to end an album, and there's also a lot of cool, interesting, silent era horror effects. Waka waka! So you guys chose Type O Negative, which I know you should know for sure. But here down at the studio, although it was a very hard one for me, we chose Dream Theater here. But the winner is Type O Negative, which is also a good choice.